What up, Claytriots? It's your boy, technically Clay, streaming at you from sunny, beautiful St. Louis, Missouri. It is a wonderful day out there today. I am doing great. I hope you are doing great. I'm feeling pretty well rested today. I have my coffee in hand, Bucky's as usual, and I am ready for this early morning stream for all of you wonderful people. Hmm, yeah, so since the last time you saw me, I saw Hasan Piker in person. In person. We'll get into that a little bit later. But he was at the St. Louis rally, the Mayday rally. I was there. So I didn't like get to say hi to him or anything. I think there's a pretty like after he spoke, there was a pretty just big group of people who I think all wanted to get pictures with him. And the march had already started, like because we're doing like a a march around the block or whatever with all of the people who went there. So I just decided to go do the march instead, and maybe some other time I'll be able to get a picture with him. It's not really my highest priority. I mean, I think it would be cool to have, but it's not like my highest priority. I cared more about doing the actual doing the actual march itself or whatever. So yeah, so I did that yesterday. Also yesterday was so we dropped off my cat to get her partial, like one of her two mastectomies that she has to get. So we got a call from the vet. Everything's fine. She's doing good. I'll have to pick her up sometime today. I'm assuming they're going to call me for that. And then I went and got groceries. Then I went to the rally, like I said. After that, I just played some video games. I watched some of the content that Hasan put out after, or like around the rally. And then I went to bed, and then I woke up, made some coffee, and I came right here. That has been what has happened since you have last seen me. So I guess with that being said, we can just get right into it. Why not, right? You don't have to hear me ramble on for forever and ever. Unless that's what you want, I can. I'm sure I can do it. So speaking of Mayday and the rally, we're going to start by watching some of the Hasan content from it, because I am from St. Louis. I very rarely does St. Louis ever actually get like a lot of publicity. Like a lot of people, like you'll hear Hasan say it himself, but a lot of people skip over St. Louis a lot. So the few times that we get to be in some of the headlines, if we can make it on some of those, the daily Fox News condemnations that they do or whatever, I'm all for it. So let's go ahead and watch this one. This is local news, St. Louis news covering the rally. I think Hasan may have played this on stream afterwards yesterday. I might have, I was playing video games and I wasn't paying that much attention, so I can't remember what all was in it. So let's go ahead and watch this. This is from KSDK News. Corey Bush invites controversial streamer Hasan to speak in St. Louis at Mayday protests. Let's go.
Mayday brought thousands into the streets across.
See, I wasn't there yet, I guess. This must have been before it got pretty big.
America today, a tradition rooted in the labor struggles that built this country. In St. Louis, the march came to Alo Plaza, but the story that followed it there was not just about wages. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson. Corey Bush is running to reclaim Missouri's 1st congressional district from Wesley Bell in the August Democratic primary. Today's demonstration was her most visible public step toward that race. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is live downtown.
Kelly, here at Alo Plaza, a crowd of a few hundred turned out for May Day. Corey Bush is...
By the way, I was one of the people holding the signs back there. I don't know if I'll be visible in any of this reporting. Probably not, but I can't remember. I think one person came up and asked for my name or something. So I might be in something. I'm not really sure.
Turning out for something else. The beginning of what she hopes is a march back in the road to Congress. But the most important moment of her day didn't occur here. She hasn't taken the stage just yet. The most important moment of her day so far happened on campus at Wash U a few hours ago, when she answered a question that has been following her since she started previewing this event on these grounds yesterday. The question is about her special guest tonight, who will be joining her on stage, Hasan Piker, the online streamer she personally invited to St. Louis as her guest. Just a few days ago, members of Congress filed a formal bipartisan resolution naming Piker and quoting...
Yeah, the Condemn Hasan Piker Act. Yeah, what a great use of the resources of the highest legislative body in the world, writing out a resolution to condemn Hasan Piker. What a great use of time, everybody.
Personally invited to St. Louis as her guest. Just a few days ago, members of Congress filed a formal bipartisan resolution naming Piker and quoting his own words, that he said America deserved the September 11 attacks, that he said the sexual violence of October 7th, in his words, didn't change the dynamic for...
If you want to hear my entire analysis of this entire piece of legislation, I read it all in its entirety on stream yesterday. I clipped it this morning, so it's on my YouTube channel. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. This legislation is anti-Semitic in and of itself, because it is conflating the anti-Zionist views of Hasan Piker with the actual anti-Semitism of Candace Owens. The people who wrote it are anti-Semites for doing that. They need to stop that shit. They are trafficking in anti-Semitism. Every time that they make that conflation, that is what they are doing. So they really got to stop doing shit like this.
That he said the sexual violence of October 7th, in his words, didn't change the dynamic for him. That just 16 days ago, he said Hamas is better than Israel every single time. These aren't mere allegations. These are his own words now in the congressional record. And I asked...
Yeah, they're also 90% of the Democratic base believes. They're what the majority of Americans believe. What are they? I don't understand. They're still pretending like this is controversial, dude. I forgot. Okay, yeah, I do kind of remember this now. They when I was watching this on Hasan's stream. Yeah, they go into just the controversies around Hasan and not actually about the Mayday stuff. So
I asked Corey Bush about them this afternoon. If you knew that, why invite him to St. Louis?
So first of all, you have to ask Hasan Piker about Hasan Piker's words. The same way that I talk to you and you say inflammatory things, the same way that I talk to someone from the New York Times. Usually you're saying negative things about me, and I'm still standing here talking to you. And so Hasan Piker, asking Hasan about what Hasan said is what you should do. Asking me about what I said, that I can stand up for. The same way I don't know about what other people who are podcasters or what, I am getting a message out to the people that listen to them. That's what I'm doing. I'm getting a message out to the people who listen to you.
Yeah. So she's just saying that, yeah, the people that she, the vast majority of the Democrats at least agree with Hasan Piker. Like, so she's like, yeah, I'm going to go out and talk to them. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not going to just like shoot my campaign in the foot by not taking advantage of this like massive platform that having Hasan Piker like show up in St. Louis will do for me. Like, it would be stupid. Like, and I don't know, these people, they're going crazy, dude.
Tonight, Wesley Bell's campaign responding. Campaign manager Jordan Blaze telling us that Cori Bush should apologize to the Missouri families who lost someone on 9/11.
What? She should apologize to the... Well, oh, okay, bro. You should apologize for not fixing all the tornado damage that came through a year ago. Those people are still suffering, man. What the fuck are you doing?
To victims of sexual violence and to people, to families of military personnel killed in terrorist attacks around the world. His campaign writing, quote,
My God, dude. Wesley Bell dude, he's the biggest Apex stooge that has ever fucking existed. I swear to God, if like we don't defeat him this time, I'm going to be so fucking pissed. Like last time when they spent $9 million against Cori to beat her, it was a different time. People were not ready to have the conversation about Israel. But nowadays it's like I don't know. I don't think I don't really think that there's a possibility that he's going to win, but I don't know. I think polling right now, it's really early. Polling has them about tied, I think, right now. But I think that being tied at this point, in terms of like, your Cori's name recognition and stuff, and like people getting more tuned in over time is only going to increase her margin. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that they're tied right now. But yeah, Wesley Bell sucks, dude.
9/11, to victims of sexual violence and to people, to families of military personnel killed in terrorist attacks around the world. His campaign writing, quote, we should all be angry at Donald Trump, but, quote, let's channel our anger in ways that don't sink to his level of hatred.
Oh, shut
Again,
the
Cori
fuck
Bush
up.
And Hasan Piker.
See, that's why he's going to lose, man. He's not on the same wavelength that the Democratic voters are. They want people who are going to sink to Trump's level. They want people to get lower than Trump. You got to fight fire with fire. Like, that's what the people want. So, yeah, I don't know. And this guy's being a fucking goober too.
Piker set to take the stage here in just a few moments. Live downtown, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
We are on our way to an...
Okay, cool. Well, we're going to go ahead and watch some of this video from Hasan to watch his speech and watch some of Cori's speech as well. And, just so, people can see what I saw yesterday. I will go ahead and say that my seeing Hasan in person was interesting because to me, I always felt like online, he's kind of like larger than life. Like you see him going and doing all of these fancy events and stuff. He's like always like, I don't know. He feels like very much like a celebrity, I feel like, when you see him online. When you see him in person, though, I won't lie. He kind of just looked like a dude. Like, I mean, he was obviously well dressed with his like fancy glasses and stuff or whatever. But I was, he just looked like a normal guy to me or whatever. So that was just like an interesting, at least that's how I felt. I'm sure maybe some people felt differently, but anyway, let's go ahead and watch his speech up here. I'm just going to skip right to it. Let's see here. For those unaware, I'm over on the back right. Like, I don't think I'm visible on any of these shots, but I was like over on the back right, like so further to the right of the screen over here.
And we also have with us Mr. Hasan Piker, a political commentator. Let's welcome him.
I was holding one of those defund oligarch signs, like one of these guys. I don't know if that's my hand. It might. I think I was a little bit further over than that, but yeah.
I hear you. What's going on, St. Louis? Wow. It's going to be a tough act to follow. Those ladies, they really brought it, but I'm going to try my very best. It's a real honor to be here today on this beautiful day, International Workers' Day, Mayday, a day that we're here to celebrate, a day that, weirdly enough, doesn't get a lot of notice in the United States of America. Yeah, I wonder why. It's interesting. I feel like St. Louis doesn't get a lot of notice either, even though it deserves all the praise.
Yeah.
314?
He's like, what the hell is that? No, that's the area code. For people unaware, 314 is the area code.
I just traveled from Philadelphia, where I was, okay, you don't have to praise him that much. We're here for St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I traveled from Philadelphia to get here this morning, and someone stopped me at the airport. They were like, are you that guy? Are you that
Wait a second. Is that dude from CNN? Did CNN report on him? I wasn't expecting to have anyone from CNN come to this. If I had seen that guy, I think I've seen him interview Hasan before. If that's the guy that I'm thinking of. I would like to, maybe there's an interview. Maybe I can find that.
Commentary guy, and I was like, yeah. And she said to me, what are you doing in St. Louis? And from what I understand, at least what many of you here in my community have communicated to me, a lot of people don't come to St. Louis, apparently.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, by the way. I do think St. Louis is relatively forgotten about. I don't necessarily think it's anything. There's a few reasons for that, right? Number one, St. Louis does have a reputation of like crime, right? That has a long history. I don't want to go super deep into it, but it has a lot to do with like it was one of the worst aspects of like redlining and white flight and all that stuff, leaving the city to rot while everybody moved to the suburbs. Like there's a lot of that shit that happened. So in general, and also there's a heavy like black population in St. Louis as well. So all of that leads to it having a, negative reputation when it comes to crime. But then also we're surrounded by two cities that are like probably bigger, like Chicago and Kansas City. So a lot of times when people are deciding where to tour, where people are deciding, what states they're going to go to for their events, a lot of times St. Louis is left out, which I think is kind of a shame, really. I love St. Louis personally. I think that out of all of the cities, I've been to a lot of cities, man. I've vacationed to Kansas City and Chicago a lot, and I like both of those places. But I don't think I would ever move to either of those from St. Louis because the neighborhoody vibes that I get in St. Louis they feel completely different than like Chicago. And I think and maybe I just haven't been to the right places in Chicago or whatever, but like I love like our bars. I love the people. I love the general vibes of everybody. It's like this weird mix of like, like especially in the city it's this weird mix of like hick and hipster like that I really like, because like most of the people tend to be more progressive in the city, but they still have a lot of the like hick vibes, which I won't lie, I kind of enjoy the hick vibes sometimes. So like so I don't know, I love St. Louis. I wish people would give it more credit. I wish more people would add that stop on their tours and stuff. That's I hope I just want to keep building his prominence. I'm going to be a St. Louis guy, I'm pretty sure, my entire life. Maybe at least until I retire. If I retire and I still have a shit ton of money, we'll see. We'll see where I end up, especially like with like climate change and stuff. I want to be comfortable when I'm like 80, So we'll see what's going on, what happens then. But I'm pretty sure I'll be in St. Louis for most of my life.
To me, a lot of people don't come to St. Louis, apparently. And I don't know why.
All the stuff I just listed. That's why. I'm obviously I couldn't, yell at him from off stage what the reasons were. That would have been inappropriate. I can't let my autism take control of me that hard.
Because it's a beautiful city, and there's a lot of beautiful people here. But in all my travels, I've seen a lot of places like St. Louis. Places that have been left behind by wealthy corporations that pollute your waters, that steal your productive output, and then spend it on themselves. But today, and every day from here on out, we say no more. No more! For the longest time, I felt disillusioned, like many of you probably did as well. 2016, Bernie Sanders, we went out, we door knocked. 2020, the same thing. And in a sequence of defeats from corporate Democrats, there were wonderful gems that came out of that movement. People like Cori Bush, who I'm honored to be here with.
Oh, wait, sorry, I gotta go back. Let me see if I can see myself. No, I don't think so. I'm guessing I'm not going to be able to see myself. I might be holding that sign right there. I can't, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I was standing like right about there. I'm guessing that's me holding that sign right there.
People like Cori who put ordinary folks like yourselves first in her campaign and in her legislative battles. People who put their bodies on the line to make sure that the eviction moratorium was halted, that the eviction moratorium continued, to make sure that those who are unhoused got the housing necessary.
Yeah, for those unaware, Cori Bush, she led during COVID, she led I think multiple people participated in it, but she started it, of camping out on the front steps of Congress because I think, if I remember correctly, I think Cori Bush was homeless for a period of time before she went into office. And so she was like, trying to demonstrate, like, we can't be letting these evictions just happen during COVID, like when nobody's able to get paid and stuff. It would be like immoral to do so. So she camped out on the front steps of Congress, which was really cool.
But there's a price. There's a price that people pay sometimes. That price was $9 million.
Yep.
$9 million, the second most expensive congressional primary. That's what it took for Israel to subvert the democratic process, to unseat a wonderful fighter.
Yeah. When he brought up Israel, everyone's like, fuck that. Yeah, in case you're wondering where the average, I mean, these people, I guess I wouldn't say are the average Democratic voter, but I'd say they represent a vast swath of the Democratic voter, especially this like when it comes to Israel, this definitely is representative of the average people.
And put a AIPAC stooge like Wesley Bell in charge. To punish someone for saying the truth, to punish someone for being uncompromising. But what are we gonna do? I didn't say that. I'm already in enough trouble. I don't know.
I think maybe I missed it. Sorry, here, let me go back real quick.
But what are we gonna do?
She said, "I'm gonna ring his bell." That can be interpreted multiple ways, people. Okay, that is not a call for violence. Okay, ring his bell. Maybe it's something nice. You know, who knows?
I didn't say that. I'm already in enough trouble, and I don't want Corey to get into any more trouble.
Man, I'm telling you, I was like I think right behind these two guys. So I'm like right there. I'm just barely not visible, man.
But while we were disillusioned for far too long, just as the speakers that came before me addressed, last year they said there was 100 people here. This year there's thousands.
Oh, by the way, that abolish ICE sign, that was one of my friends from DSA. He made that. I talked to him. He like works at a print shop or something, so he made that one himself. That was pretty cool.
Because this movement is growing. There are ordinary folk just like yourselves who recognize right from wrong and who will fight back and who will have their voices be heard. St. Louis, are you with us? For far too long, we've been told you have to vote for harm reduction. We all know the Republicans are corrupt. We all know that they're monsters, they're racist, they traffic in hatred. But we are here to say we are no longer going to vote for do-nothing Democrats either. We're voting for Democrats with a purpose.
Yeah, Wesley Bell sucks, by the way. He hasn't done anything for St. Louis since he's gotten elected. So, yeah, if you're having a hard time picking out there, it should be pretty easy.
And that's precisely why it is a great honor for me to be here alongside Cori Bush today and introduce to you, hopefully, once again, the rightful candidate for Congress, Cori Bush, everybody.
When St. Louis is under attack, what do we do? Stand up like that. When St. Louis is under attack, what do we do? Stand up like that. What do we do? Stand up like that. What do we do? Stand up like that. Y'all. Happy International Workers' Day. I'm so glad to be here with all of you. Y'all, we keep doing this, don't we? We keep coming back and coming back and coming back, but I love seeing y'all, just don't love why I keep seeing y'all. We should be past this. But I want to thank you, Hasan. Thank you for coming to St. Louis.
Yeah. Seriously, I do. I mean, I mentioned it on like in his chat or whatever. I doubt he saw it, but I said, like, I do sincerely thank him for coming to St. Louis. I know it's not at the top of his list probably, but I appreciate it, honestly. And especially the support for Cori Bush. Like, you know, I'm out there canvassing. I think that this will bring a lot of attention to her campaign, which I think will only help. So I do appreciate that.
Thank you for prioritizing our community, because like you said, others won't.
The only thing that we can hope for, though, is that this generates a rage bait news cycle in Fox News. Please, dear God, I really want like national Fox News to cover this with the same veracity that they've been covering Hasan all the time, because that would be incredible. That would put Cori Bush's name like on the fucking map, man. Like even higher, like give her so much you know, improve her reach significantly. So please get rage baited, Fox News.
For prioritizing our community, because like you said, others won't and others don't. We have people who are our elected representatives who don't prioritize us. So thank you so much, and thank you for your voice and for being uncompromising in your positions and for highlighting us. We need people all over the internet who know what they want, who know how to go get it, and who are uncompromising and who will go say the thing. And so we really appreciate you being here because St. Louis deserves that. When we're talking about workers who have need of a home, workers have need of clean air, workers have need of clean water, workers have need of sanitation, electricity, gas, transportation. And so when we're in healthcare, but when we talk about workers and we talk about the rights of workers, we're not just talking about making sure you get paid the wage that you deserve, making sure that that's livable. We're not just talking about making sure you're at the table. We're talking about making sure we wrap around your whole life. 'Cause that's what workers do. Because workers take care of the people. Workers are the people.
Yeah, we workers don't. I mean, she's much better speaker than me, but like, yeah, workers don't deserve a seat at the table. Workers built the fucking table. Like, they deserve to own the table. They deserve to be the ones deciding who gets a seat at the table. You know, like. Workers are the backbone of all like they're just the backbone of everything in society. Like, people who contribute labor are the people, who deserve they're the people who deserve to live, lives of dignity. And the worst part about it is that the reason that workers aren't like it's the humbleness and the humility of like the average worker, the person who just wants, all they want is enough to get by, right? It's because they are not selfish, because they are not greedy. They are taken advantage of it every step of the way, and it's completely and totally unfair. It's why I am an anti-capitalist. The capital owners, like, the most you can say is that they provide the funds to start businesses or whatever. We can organize society in a way that doesn't, that we can fund people's fund businesses through other means. It doesn't have to be through private capital accumulation. That's my thoughts on that.
Because workers take care of the people. Workers are the people, and workers take care of the people. Because I can tell you, the last time I went to the store, I didn't check myself out and then go home with the item. Somebody checked me out, and I was happy that I didn't have to do it. Somebody checked me out, and then I went home. But what did I do? I drove the car. Somebody made the car I drove, and I was happy to have a car to drive. But for those of us who take public transportation, there is somebody behind that wheel. And that's somebody that we hope is doing right by it because they have precious cargo on that bus. Workers' rights are human rights. Workers' rights are civil rights. And so as we're standing up here today in solidarity, we're standing in solidarity with our international workers as well as our workers from this country. We don't care where you come from. We don't care where you work. We don't care who you serve. I don't even care if you voted for me last time. I care that you have your rights and that those rights are protected. And so in order to protect your rights, we need people in seats, and this is all across the country. We need people in the seats that see you. People in the seats that think that is dignity to call out your name and do some work for you. People that don't believe that they deserve to be served by you. People that will go the extra mile. The North Side shouldn't look like what the North Side looks like.
She's talking about the tornado that went through the north side of St. Louis. It was also a heavily black area, so that also explains why they've had a very difficult time getting the funding needed to do the repairs necessary just to become whole. Yeah.
billionaires who are sitting on money and their workers are the ones on food stamps. We have workers who don't have the money to buy a vehicle. They have to use public transportation, but the corporations and the billionaires are making money hand over fist. We say that we're standing up for workers, but what we're really doing is we're standing up for all of humanity together. So our workers and those who want to work but can't work, we're standing up for those folks too. St. Louis, this is about every single one of us. So when we go to our electeds, y'all, we're saying fully fund the North Side. We're saying we don't want your big box data center in our community.
Oh, yeah. That, by the way, that was like, I think it was declined originally. Like the people, like they, I can't remember if they voted on it or if they just decided not to do it because of the public backlash. They were building a data center in a place called the Armory in St. Louis. And then I think there was enough public backlash that they decided not to do it. But then they came back and the mayor like overruled it or something and said, actually, we are going to do it anyway. So just another anti-democratic process that happened. So I'm expecting my fucking water bill to go through the roof in the future, which, ugh, it's already so high.
We're saying we don't want your police shooting firing range in our community. We're saying put money into our education, put money into our schools, put the money into healthcare. And lastly, if you can't stand up to Donald Trump and his administration on the city level, the state level, or the federal level, then you're no representative for us.
Yeah. By the way, Wesley Pell voted to thank ICE. So, you know, if you needed any evidence of where he is compared to where the actual people of St. Louis are, because I'm telling you, I go around, you know, whenever I'm doing my canvassing, one of the top issues that all of the Democratic primary voters that I've talked to is ICE. So, and he voted to thank ICE. It's in like, you know, he is completely and totally, you know, against the base of the party.
If you can't stand up to Donald Trump and his allies, then how are you supposed to stand up for us if you can't stand up to them? Donald Trump don't know your name. And why sign up for a job?
Well, I mean, that's true. She's talking about Wesley Bell again. Like, Donald Trump doesn't know his name because he doesn't fight back against Donald Trump. He is, you know, he's a classic, like, I'm going to fade into the background and just collect my paycheck kind of politician.
When you're not willing to fight, if you're not willing to fight, move out the way, because I know some fighters. That are fighters that can replace you. I know some folk in Action St. Louis that can replace you. So as we get ready to march, who ready to march? Make these St. Louis streets hear you. Make these St. Louis streets recognize we're in the street. Because today is our day. And when they say, oh, a general strike just for one day, what
they said Marge mentioned in the chat. I haven't been watching the chat very quickly, so I don't know what they've been saying, but that was kind of funny. I just saw Marge mentioned.
They do. Your response back should be, what did you do? You want to show up tomorrow? We can show up tomorrow. You want to show up for 400 days like we did in Ferguson? We can show up for 400 days. They don't want that kind of smoke. They don't even want to hear us say abolish ICE, but it's abolish ICE. And any elected official that is standing saying that our police need to work with ICE, we coming to vote you out. When immigrants are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When immigrants are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back. Yes, St. Louis, let's go.
Yeah, I think she did a really good job personally. I mean, obviously I'm biased because I am a big Cori Bush fan, but I think she did a good job. Hasan, I think did a pretty good job as well. Both of them were pretty good. So let's see. Let's finish out the video just to see if I get if I show up at all on here.
Yes, St. Louis, let's go.
It's Caroline Kwan saying she's the best. Probably one of these two signs. I don't think that we're gonna see me, if I had to be honest. Nope. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're seeing me in here. Okay. Well, there you go. That was a little St. Louis content to start off the stream. I just wanted to do that first because I was there and I can cover the stuff that is related to me. I'm gonna actually watch one more video related to Mayday.
Good evening.
So we're gonna check in now with Fox News, and we're gonna see what they have to say about. I think this is about the Mayday protest, as far as I'm aware. So let's go ahead and watch this video. It looks like they might also cover some Supreme Court stuff too. I'm only interested in the Mayday the Mayday stuff, so we'll probably only go to about 4 minutes on this video. But let's see what Fox News is thinking is going on when it comes to Mayday. See how they're feeling about all of these people going out onto the streets and protesting.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Laura Ingraham. This is the Ingraham Angle from Washington tonight. As always, thanks for spending some time with us. Well, it's Mayday. Did you celebrate? Well, it means it's another excuse for the left to agitate against Trump, against America, and generally to make total fools of themselves.
86, 47, 86.
Yeah, it's this is how you know it's working, right? If Fox News is going to dedicate a segment to it, then you know you're doing something right. It's the same way like Hasan, when he gets a segment every day on Fox News or whatever. It's like, he's doing something right because they wouldn't be covering it if they weren't scared of it. We're in the early stages of this, right? Of the building the necessary class solidarity, the class solidarity that's necessary to actually implement real structural changes in America. We're starting to get there. When I went to the Mayday protest today, there were thousands of people there. I'm guessing next year there will be tens of thousands. The year after there may be hundreds of thousands. It depends obviously how quickly the material conditions of America deteriorate, but as people start looking for a solution to the problems that we're facing, this sort of stuff is going to become much more prevalent. And I think Fox News, to some extent, understands that, which is why they're going to be very dismissive and cope really hard about it.
86-47.
Hey, don't say that. Don't say that. You're going to get sued. Laura Ingraham, what are you doing? All Comey had to do was take a picture of it. He took a picture of 8647 and he got sued. You're about to get sued too, baby.
Yeah, that's
sorry for calling you baby. I don't know what came over me there.
86-47. You heard it. Yeah, that's mob talk. Remember the James Comey seashells? Meaning, take out the president. You know what I mean when I say take out. So if you ask, do any of these people work? Well, first of all,
yeah, I mean, they have about as much of a good case against her right there as they do against Comey. He literally just took a picture of some shells that said 8647. That's like, what are we doing here?
a lot of them are quite old. But remember, protesting people work. Well, first of all, a lot of them are quite old. But Remember, protesting.
Yeah, all the Deborahs, all the fucking boomers, they're like, all the boomer parents are being radicalized into Marxist Leninists. It's like, it's kind of wild. There were a lot of older people at the Mayday event that I went to. There were also a lot of young people though, because Hasan was there. So
is their work. It's their play. It's their retirement. It's their life's mission. Because a lot of these people yearn for the old days, for the Marxist communist marches that had some juice, like back in 1971.
On April 24th, 1971, the National Peace Action Coalition, supported by welfare rights groups, labor unions, and others, held a massive demonstration in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, this was for the Vietnam War. Like, this is for the Vietnam War. Trust me, as the Iran War gets less and less popular, this sort of anti-war, like, especially if they institute a draft like they did back then, which is, you know, what would probably be necessary if they wanted to actually, like, for real go to war with Iran. There would be like movements like this times 1,000 because this war is already less popular than Vietnam was at the lowest point of its popularity. So if there was a draft, dear God, the streets would be flooded. Every single like independent would like turn into, yeah, like anti-war communists if that happened.
175,000 people from all walks of life, with differing ideologies and purposes, marched from the White House to the Capitol.
Now that was a protest at the height of the Vietnam War, with a lot of the same commie groups supporting it, and it kept going.
Some who came to break the peace stayed on in West Potomac Park. For them, the April 24th rally was only a prelude to Mayday, an opportunity to advance their own well-defined aim, to shut down the federal government. These militant and violence-prone members of the New Left decided that the style, discipline...
I don't know why I don't understand what she's trying to say here. Yeah, these are like... Oh, wait, sorry, I gotta answer this. It's my cat, for my cat, probably. One sec. Okay, my cat is fine, people. My cat did not die. Thank you all, anybody who, you know, who gave their thoughts thoughts and prayers for my cat. Yeah, so I'm picking her up later today. So she'll be back at home tonight. Anyway, let's get back into the news. We're reliving the glory days of the communist movements of the past. I think that I was talking about how I don't really understand what they're doing here. Like, this is just like, these were the progenitor movements, like before neoliberalism like really took off or whatever, and basically pushed all aspects of worker power to the fringes, right? Like this is like, you know, where a lot of these the American style of like communism, which is pretty, you know, bare bones and not very like, there's not a whole lot of people who like ascribe to it. This is just kind of where it all started. So she's really just giving a history lesson right now of like what, like, you know, how people did things back then. This is kind of rad to me. I don't understand what she's doing.
Tactics of peaceful assembly were no longer acceptable.
Oh, no longer acceptable. They wanted it to go coast to coast, right? Those are the good old days for them. Well, we did see some of that in the summer of 2020, the summer of love after George Floyd. But today, it all seemed kind of uninspired, a rerun of a rerun. And it's funded by the same shady sources that backed the group.
Oh, I'm streaming, by the way.
Code Pink.
Sorry, there's getting some interruptions.
Run.
Let's keep going.
And it's funded by the same shady sources that backed the group Code Pink, including a Chinese billionaire, Neville Leroy Singham. Now, they'll tell you there were 3,000 protests, but come on. Take a closer look. At Trump Tower, that group, that gaggle, consisted of, you know, just a few upper middle class leftists apparently bored in their retirement.
These are just like average normie libs, like that have just been radicalized. Yeah. Also, they got a Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That's how I know they're just a bunch of libs that have been like radicalized, because they got a RBG poster here. And also, by the way, they disparage this sort of stuff all the time. It doesn't matter. Like, what the fuck were they doing? You know, like they haven't gone out and protested anything in their entire lives, right? They haven't engaged in First Amendment activities their entire lives. They haven't done anything related to civic duty, anything related to bettering their community. They haven't, I don't know, gone out and volunteered at their local food pantry. Like, they haven't done anything for communities whatsoever. Like, all of these people who are complaining right now, anybody in your life who might complain about this sort of stuff, just know that they aren't doing jack shit. And they're really more upset that you are out there doing something, like anything, pointing, like reflecting a mirror of their, you know, basic ass like solitary life that they have decided to live, where they never aspire to anything greater than turning the TV on and pressing the Fox News channel. Like that's what a lot of these people are really upset with, is when you go out there and do this, you're actually showing essentially that you're a better person than they are, and it really pisses them off, or at least that's how they interpret it. So, and that's kind of how I interpret it too, to be honest. But no offense, people, but I mean, maybe a little bit of offense. I don't know, whatever.
And they were so desperate for protest attendees in Chicago that the teachers union pushed to give all students the day off to participate. Remember, you got to start them early. They didn't get their wish, but CBS is still reporting that the school district there provided buses so students could attend the protests.
Did your teacher encourage you to walk out?
Yeah, most of the teachers were pretty on board with the idea. So
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because you want to know why? Because teachers are workers. They are underpaid workers. they want kids to be pro worker and pro labor. Like they want to be able to not have to spend all of their own personal money to fund their schools. Like, I think it makes sense that they would want to get students involved. Also, engaging in civic activity is a basic part of being a citizen of a country. Like, this is just, this is just like normal, just everyday civics. This is a perfect example of how to teach students how to how to become a part of the fabric of American society and how to better your country. This is just normal everyday learning shit.
Why?
Well, because originally it was a protest for the union, so they were pretty on board with it because they are part of the teachers union at the end of the day.
Exactly.
You said just walk out of class so you could be.
Not necessarily, but there were some teachers that were like, "It's a walkout. You guys can just go protest, go."
Good for Mike Tobin.
Yeah, it's a learning experience. This is like, what do you think? What do you think these kids learn more from? A trip to the zoo, or engaging in a civic act of protest, engaging in First Amendment like speech against their government, as like learning, literally doing the duty of their citizens, like as being citizens of this country. Like, I mean, this is a ridiculous argument.
Walkout. You guys can just go protest, go.
Good for Mike Tobin. Now, I'm sure that student was riveted when failed Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson addressed his little apparatchiks.
Young people today, you're here by choice. You are here because you are creating action that will turn into power. Do not let anyone take your power away from you. Thank you for being a part of this movement. Thank you for raising your voices.
How about try raising test scores, buddy? Only 40% of the students can read at grade level in these areas of Chicago, but we already know they don't care. Not Johnson, not Pritzker, and not the teachers union.
These are the people who are literally trying to defund all of public schools. Like, what are they talking about? You can't complain that test scores are going down or whatever when you are literally in the process of trying to eviscerate the entire public school system. You have like McMahon or whatever, McMahon's wife, the dude, the WWE dude's wife is in charge of the public school system right now, and you're complaining about test scores. Like, what are you doing?
It's that bankroll the Democrat Party. Instead, their goal is clear. It's permanent power, creating a loyal majority by pushing mass amnesty for illegals, tossing out federal breadcrumbs, and whipping up false fears of racism. It's just more dead ends for people who could actually benefit from.
You want to know how I know that they're actually scared? It's because they said all of this same stuff about Bernie, about the squad, about general left movements that have been building power, since 2016, right? They've been saying the same exact thing. And all of those groups, like that wing of the party, like, yes, it has ebbed and flowed, but all of them have ascended to being the dominant force in the Democratic Party at this point in time. So they're going to do the same thing here. They're going to keep disparaging. They're going to keep dismissing. We'll see. We'll see. Next year, we'll see how many people show up. I'm telling you, as people's conditions get worse, the only option to fight back is labor militancy. People will one day be forced to wake up to that. And I have a feeling that that Ingram here isn't going to advocate for policies that are going to uplift the working class in a way that will not, that will help stop the revolutionary fervor that is brewing in the proletariat right now. Like, I don't think that they're going to do that. Capitalism is inherently self-destructive, so it doesn't know how to stop. Like, there's no way to stop. Like, there's no way within capitalism to stop, to stop the immiseration of the working class. It's baked into the code of capitalism. So, I don't know. We'll, like I said, we'll see. We'll see, Laura Ingram. You can keep dismissing. I love when you dismiss, because it just means like you're not. Well, I think that behind the scenes they probably are taking it seriously, but I was gonna say, like, it just means that, yeah, we can just keep doing what we're doing, and you're not gonna pay that much attention to it.
From policies that deliver jobs and safer streets, otherwise known as the Trump agenda. Joining me now is Jonathan Turley, constitutional law prof and Fox News contributor. Professor, they were chanting a little bit about the court and some of these protests today and court packing.
I think they're going to get into the gerrymandering stuff that I talked about yesterday, so I don't really need to go into that again. So I'm probably going to move on now. I think that they're just this is the same sort of dismissive attitude, like forced dismissive attitude that they put, like this persona that they put on when they're trying to when they're trying to project that they're not scared, right? But I do think behind the scenes that they are very scared that this is turning into something uncontrollable. And I'm not saying it's going to be next year or the year after, but eventually there's going to be a necessity for a actual real general strike that shuts down the entire capitalist system, like in perpetuity until until they accede to our demands. Here, one sec. Let me see if I can. I'm curious if there's any. Who is this guy again? CNN interviews Hasan, Piker, and STL. I can't find any good videos of it. I wanted to get one more video of that. I can't find it. Oh well. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and move on then. We're gonna move on to what should I move on to? Probably Iran stuff. I don't know if a whole lot has happened with Iran. I'm just gonna watch oh, that's right. Okay, this happened, I guess.
President Trump.
So guys, I got news for you. I got news. The Iran war is over. It's over, people. We did it. Mission accomplished, right? Right, everybody. Yeah, so apparently Trump has he has declared the Iran war as terminated in letter to Congress. Now I'm a little bit surprised about that, considering we still have hundreds of billions of dollars worth of military assets all around the region. We have tons of troops that are being paid with, my personal tax dollars being funneled out of my pocket. We have like a naval blockade, which is definitionally an act of war. Like even under US law, that's considered an act of war. So I'm a little bit surprised that he's saying it's terminated, but hey, if it's terminated, then I guess maybe we can start moving all of those resources back home, moving all those troops back home. So let's see what this is all about.
President Trump says he is not happy with Iran and its new offer, and now is considering his options. One of those, he says, is to, quote, blast the hell out of them. This comes as his administration technically states the Iran conflict is over in a letter to Congress. It says the ceasefire that began in early April is still holding. That is seen by many lawmakers as a maneuver designed to avoid the need for congressional.
It's a reset, everybody. Don't you know how timers work? He had 60 days, and then he declared a reset, and he declared a ceasefire. Like, he could just, he at least did it for a few weeks. He could have just done it for a couple hours. He's like, okay, we're going to have a ceasefire. And then 1 hour later, he's like, okay, the ceasefire is off. And then he gets another 60 days, I'm trying to think of an analogy. I don't know. I'll try and think of one on the side.
Congressional approval of the action at 60 days. Senior White House correspondent Peter Doocy has details tonight, live from the North Lawn. Good evening,
Douche.
Peter.
Good evening, Brett. Yes, on paper, the war with Iran is over. But because President Trump has not decided to pull any Pentagon assets out of the Persian Gulf, it's not really over.
They're asking for things that I can't agree to.
Negotiations with Iran continue as the White House writes to Congress. The hostilities that began on February 28, 2026 have terminated. That's key because if those hostilities ran longer than 60 days in a row, President Trump would need to ask Congress for permission to continue to comply with the War Powers Act.
Would have to, is what I said. Yeah, like Congress is a joke. Like it's a dysfunctional body. It doesn't have any power. He doesn't have to do anything really anymore. Trump has proven that the only thing that matters is the executive branch. The executive branch can do whatever it wants, whenever it wants, and there's nothing Congress or the courts or anybody can do to stop them, which, you know, is bad. It, like, overall it is bad, but I always say look for silver linings, right? And the silver lining here is that if you do get a left populist, a true like Bernie crap politician in there, they can do whatever the fuck they want. Like there's no stopping them. Congress can try to stop them. It's not going to happen. Like you can just do whatever you want, and you can ignore Congress. You can ignore the courts. Trump has shown that to be the case. So there is a silver lining to this. Our country can maybe get fixed if we get the right politician into the presidency who just ignores everything that the courts and Congress says.
War powers. Every other president considered it totally unconstitutional, and we agree with that.
Thousands of missiles and bombs have fallen on Iran during Operation Epic Fury, and Vice President Vance, according to The Atlantic, expressed his concerns about the availability of certain missile systems in discussions with President Trump. The president doesn't share those concerns.
All over the world, we have inventory, and we could take that if we need it. For instance, we're stocks in.
Yeah, we can just steal it from all of the fake allies and give it to the one true ally, Israel. It's insane, dude. We cannot. It's so funny. We went through 50%, people. 50% of our missiles in like 6 weeks of war. That means we have a good 6 weeks left before we are just done. Before we are done. And maybe I don't know. Maybe he's right. Maybe we can steal a bunch of missiles from all of our client states. I don't think they would be very happy about that if they like bought them or whatever, you know, but maybe we could just steal them, and then maybe we could eke out another, 6 weeks on top of that. Who knows? It seems like, though, in grand total, like for a going against a middle power, like lower/middle power like Iran, we are capable of a grand total of 12 weeks of war. That's what our $1 trillion defense budget is capable of. It's 12 weeks of war before we're just out of everything you could possibly need to sustain our imperial death machine. Like I always say, America couldn't produce like itself out of a paper bag. It can't produce jack shit, man. It's like, it's something that's easily produced. Like, I guess, yeah, it couldn't produce a paper bag. Like, we just have no production capability.
Locked and loaded.
As a result of the war, gas prices have climbed to $4.39 a gallon.
And people are angry about it. I'm angry about it when I go to the gas pump.
As soon as the war ends,
me too.
Gasoline prices.
But Trump is right. As soon as we get the Strait open, you'll see that price fall, hopefully down to $3.50.
If the president decides to break the ceasefire, CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper has presented him new strike options.
I mean, do we want to go and just blast the hell out of him and finish him forever, or do we want to?
Dude, come on. We saw you do this last time. What is gonna change if you go back into a hot war? Iran was in a better bargaining position when it was a hot war. So if anything, this would decrease your bargaining position. Yeah, I don't know. It seems likely at this point that they're going to go back into a hot war, but I don't know, man. They keep tricking me. I used to feel like I had a pretty good read on when they were about to go into it. Like just based on reading news reports and stuff. Now I'm just not so sure because they keep taking longer than I expect, which it really, I think, is more of a symptom of like probably their inability to actually restock as quickly as they would like. Like they're straight up like running into the material realities that like I kind of assumed that we would be capable of like just like not even like producing enough missiles to keep this going, but like moving enough missiles and production, or like moving enough missiles and capabilities to where they need to go in order to restart this a lot quicker. I just think that like maybe even that is a lot less competent and a lot like less capable than I was expecting from our $1 trillion defense budget. Like, I gave it probably a little bit too much credit, maybe. But yeah, I don't know when it's going to start up again, to be honest. Or if it will. Yeah, I'm just straight up like 50-50 at this point.
Try and make a deal. Let me answer the opposite.
Do you want to go blast the hell out of them?
I prefer not. Forever? On a human basis, I prefer not, but that's the opposite.
On a human basis.
President Trump's words there don't make it sound like another military strike against Iran is imminent, but it is also extremely unlikely that he's going to declare Epic Fury officially over until Iran says the magic words, no nuclear weapons. Brett.
And Peter, President Trump is pulling out troops from Germany?
Yes, we just got word from the Department of...
We got another story on that later, so I don't need to hear that right now. Let's see what else we can find. Let's watch this one.
This is a war.
So, this is one that I saw making the rounds. I was actually going to watch it yesterday, but I didn't really... I'm trying to find, it seems like a pretty long discussion, but I wanted to watch it. I guess Adam Mogler was on here. Honestly, I was going to watch it just on its own before I even knew that like there was some like owned moment or something in it, like debate pervert owned moment. Of I guess this guy, Scott Jennings, I think it is, getting owned. So we're going to watch this. We'll see what that's all about. I think I've watched some clips of at least parts of it, so I can maybe give my analysis. But anyway, my understanding is that like Adam Mogler is like he's like a classic lib, man. He's like a blue sky lib, if I had to guess. Like he's like a I don't know, like a resistance lib. And then I did see Kat Abu Ghazala is on here as well, which is interesting. So. And we got Geraldo Rivera. No idea who this guy is. No idea who the host is. So let's watch this.
What
is international law? Who's enforcing international law?
Who is the aggressor here?
Us. We are the aggressor.
Can you name a single political concession we've gotten from them? Anything at all?
Oh, are you talking to
any political concession? So you can't name one.
So here's what we're doing.
No political concessions.
When you get up past your bedtime, you get hyper. Here's the deal.
Wow.
We are.
When's it start? This is just like highlights. I don't need to see the highlights. Let's go to like right here where I assume she's tossing it to the rest of the people.
And the ability to deliver. Did they lie about the range of their missiles?
Yeah, Pete Hegseth wasn't acting macho. He was playing a macho person on TV. He is not actually macho. We are dealing with a war that is failing on a daily basis as Donald Trump...
I mean, I agree with that. I always say Pete Hegseth sounds like a 12-year-old who's just playing with his little military toys. Like every time he talks, he doesn't sound like a serious person. Like it's this like fake bravado that is so childish that it makes me like cringe every time I hear him talk.
Question his machismo.
Because he was performing. It was a performance for Donald Trump.
Didn't you know? Yeah, I was wondering.
Donald Trump.
You're out there pumping up.
Donald Trump is very impressive. He's taken his two largest campaign promises.
I think the problem for Mogler when he makes this argument is that he does unfortunately have baby face. Like I think he's like 20, like he is really young. But I think that he does kind of have baby face, so it's hard to take him seriously when talking about things like machismo or whatever, right? Maybe if he got jacked. Can you imagine a jacked Adam Mogler? Like if he was like roided up, like, just like huge ass traps, like a thick neck, like he got the classic like steroid face, like I don't know. I think maybe he needs to get on a cycle or two, and maybe that would fix some of the problems. I'm just kidding.
Promises no new wars and lower prices, ending inflation, and he's messed both of them up. He started a new war that spiked inflation, and now this war is actively failing. An interesting statistic is that Americans have spent collectively $23 billion extra dollars on the gas pump. And that's money that could have gone towards daycare, towards childcare. We'll sit here and laugh at Americans spending money, but the reality is we are failing this war. The purpose of a war is to extract political concessions from the enemy. Can you name a single political
That's true. That is one thing a lot of people never even talk about is the purpose of war is to achieve political goals through other means. Like, I can't remember who said that, but that is like the primary goal of war. America and just general, I think, and this happens to every empire at some point, like eventually kind of forgets like the actual goal of war is political outcomes and ends up thinking like war is the goal in and of itself, right? Like bombing people is the goal in and of itself, or committing acts of violence in and of itself is like the purpose, right? This isn't abnormal for dying empires to do, but yeah, America is kind of in that phase where it doesn't even try to achieve or like think of like explain and think of and try to achieve like political outcomes. It just bombs stuff to like for its own sake or whatever, which is obviously going to lead to strategic defeat. Like,
cool concession we've gotten from them? Anything at all?
Oh, are you talking to
any political concession?
So
you can't name one.
So here's what we're doing.
No political concessions.
When you get up past your bedtime, you get hyper. Here's the deal.
All right, let's not
have a.
All right, Scott. Let's not. I think he's making a claim about his baby facedness.
Clear issue here.
You're shaking, bro.
We have a clear issue here. No nuclear weapons.
See, I don't even know that much about Scott Jennings. I've seen him in a couple videos before. All I know is that he is one of the most smug, annoying people that I've ever seen. Like, he is so incredibly infuriating. Like it's crazy. And he's also just wrong, like all the time. The couple times I've seen him, he has been completely wrong.
For the largest state sponsor of terrorism, no nuclear weapons for the largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. Period. Full stop. The president believes, and he may be right. I spoke to a retired Rear Admiral today, Mark Montgomery, who's at the Foundation for Defense of Democracy.
Oh.
They think
the FDD. Yeah, I mean, most people probably know this, but that is like a straight up Israel propaganda rack. Like that is like the like I think it is based in Israel, right? Foundation for let me Google it as a question. Is Foundation for Defense of Democracies based in Israel? Oh, it's based in Washington, D.C., but I think it was funded by Israel or something. Anti-Iran lobby group. Founded in 2001 as Emet, which is Hebrew for truth. And the initial documents is provide enhance Israel's. Let me read this on screen for you. FDD's stated Foundation for Defense of Democracy's stated mission was to provide education to enhance Israel's image in North America and the public understanding of issues affecting Israeli-Arab relations. Yeah, so it's just a pro-Israel like propaganda machine. Mission brought in after September 11th. Conduct research and provide education. Okay, yeah. John Mersheimer. FDD is have described as part of the Israel lobby. So it's basically like AIPAC. It's like a think group for AIPAC. Director of Israel's Ministry of Strategic Affairs stated that FDD works in conjunction with the Israeli government, including the ministry. There it is, people. The Foundation for Defense of Democracy works in conjunction with the Israeli government. So it is essentially just it is essentially just the Israeli government's like what they want to get out into the public, is my understanding of it. So I've read some of the FDD stuff and it is atrocious. So if he's talking to someone from like Foundation for Defense of Democracies, he is straight up talking to an Israeli propagandist who is trying to get America to commit resources and troops that Israel is not able to in order to boost Israel at the cost of the American taxpayer. So that is what their primary goal is to do, is to siphon all of our weapons, power, men, whatever, and throw them into meat grinders that benefit Israel and not the American people.
Mark Montgomery, who's at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, they think the blockade is actually more effective than the military campaign. And a little patience on the blockade here.
I mean, I guess I would say they're equally ineffective. So I guess, okay, sure.
Where we cripple the Iranian economy, where we kill their currency, which is happening as we speak, where we put pressure on China because they...
I've heard that for 20 or 30 years, man. One more sanction, just one more sanction.
need to get their oil flowing again. A little bit of patience right here, not bombs, but patience on a naval blockade could get the outcome you want, which is no nuclear weapons for the largest state sponsor of terror in
You've been saying this for 8 weeks, and we are now past the 4 to 6 week deadline. Where is the enriched uranium right now?
It's under rubble.
Where is it right now? In the United States or Iran? Iran still has the enriched uranium. They still have the scientists scattered across their country, and they have all of the blueprints in the cloud. You can sit there and act confused, but you can't name a single political concession.
It's not over.
Also, like, the whole idea of like getting rid of the uranium is pointless in and of itself, even from a like nuclear position or whatever. Like, I've always said, like, Iran, if they wanted a nuke, they could just ask China and China would give them a nuke, like, you know, or if they wanted like all of the it's not like it takes that long to like enrich uranium and like get it back up to where it was or whatever. Like, if you take it all out, okay, they could still break away to a bomb like pretty quickly anyway. And like I said, I don't know, it's all just like a red herring. It's a pretend goal of this war. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even from an American, like, we don't want them to have a nuclear weapon perspective. It doesn't really matter that much because they could still get one. Like, I would say like within months after we got it all, like after we got it all out. Like, I don't know. It all seems just like a fake thing. Like, why? Like, well, because it was an excuse, right? It was an excuse to go to war with Iran on behalf of Israel. So it was a fake thing. They're going to use, like, they're also probably going to use it as the excuse for why they can suddenly like declare victory or whatever as well, because it's a fake thing that they can manipulate to be either either Iran has a nuke today or we've blown them into smithereens. Like, after the 12-day war, we can just say whatever we want and then be able to manipulate the narrative in whatever way we want for our propaganda purposes. So
from Iran,
it's not over yet.
Okay, but also on that fact, why are we talking about the strategy of this? This isn't a legal war. This is
good point.
Terrorism. We are turning our military into pirates. We are seizing civilian vessels. Additionally,
sanctioned.
Yeah, that's a good point. It is illegal. Like, this war is an illegal war of aggression against Iran. Yeah, we often forget that.
Iranian vessels that have gone through.
Like, there was no UN approval for this war. There was no imminent threat. This was all an illegal war of choice that America is imposing on Iran. So, yeah, that is wrong.
Vessels. Additionally,
sanctioned Iranian vessels that have gone through a DOJ process.
We are.
You can call piracy in like a.
Who cares? Like, what? If the UN hasn't approved the sanctions, I mean, honestly, I don't even care if the UN approves the sanctions. Like, it really, you know, because they're just being bullied by the American hegemon anyway. But like, sanctions in general, I'm obviously not that much of a fan of. But even so, these are like unilateral decisions that America is making without UN input. So, like, you can't just like unilaterally declare like Iran's oil is illegal and then unilaterally go enforce that. Like, that's just an act of war. Like, that's just that's an illegal act of war that you're engaging in.
If words don't have any meaning, but like, we have sanctions against these vessels, and the EU has sanctions against these vessels. In some cases, the UN has sanctions.
But one of the most egregious aspects of this is the white Christian nationalist twist that Pete Hegseth has added onto this talk.
I see you looking surprised. I see you looking surprised. Pete Hegseth has literally said that that's what it is. It is a white Christian. He's trying to make it a white Christian. He's trying to make the army into a white Christian, like, crusader force. Like, that's like legitimately what he said. Like, I don't know why he's looking surprised.
Christian nationalist twist that Pete Hegseth has added onto this talk. It's saying that this conflict that we started, that we have sacrificed our own service members for, is ordained by God, is bombing a school full of schoolgirls ordained by God? Is our prices going up and us not being able to afford an ambulance, we call an Uber instead? Is that ordained by God?
Yeah, I assure you, our God has abandoned us long ago when it comes to this conflict. This is so obviously immoral. Like yeah, no, God is not on our side in this one. God is on the side of the Ayatollah. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry to inform you, all of my Christians and brothers and sisters out there. God is on the side of the Ayatollah on this one. You know, that might be upsetting to hear, but Allah, he's not on our side.
1983, I was in Beirut when the Marine Corps barracks was blown up by a suicide bomber sponsored by the Iranians.
It's not 1983,
230
though.
Marines died.
That's awful. That's terrible. But that is not.
They
not
also took out
1983.
a couple of dozen at the U.S. Embassy.
Geraldo, we heard.
Aren't those indirect deaths, right? Like Iran funded something and then it caused deaths like that. That's so by that same logic, we funded Saddam Hussein, right? Like to invade Iran, like to engage in war crimes against the Iranian people, like chemical weapons and all that sort of stuff. So by that same logic, then Iran has every right to kill Americans, or like to go to war with America. Like I don't know, if you want to get into the blame game of who started what, usually, like if you go back far enough, America started it. Like I'm gonna be honest. So like sure, Geraldo.
An entire school of children.
You can't make
2 of them.
You can't make them, suddenly a victim.
Okay, the real question is, what have we gotten?
I actually think the school children are victims. I think the civilians that are dead are.
Yeah, I mean, they are the victims. It's an objective reality. Why do we have to pretend like objective reality isn't the truth? Like, Iran is the victim here. The crime that Iran committed was not wanting to be under the thumb of America's pedobillionaires, right? Like, it is a moral and just goal to not want to be controlled by America's pedobillionaires. That was the main thing that they did that pissed off America with the Iranian Revolution. Same with like the Cuban Revolution or the Venezuela Revolution, or like all of these revolutions were to throw off the yoke of America's pedobillionaires. And so like that is a righteous cause that they should, like, we should celebrate that they did that. And ever since then, obviously, America has been trying to actively destroy all of these countries for having the audacity to push back against the American imperial machine. So, like, I don't know, man. Like, I think it's pretty obvious to most people at this point that we're not the good guys in this situation.
So are the Marines. Yeah, I do, but yes. Hold on. I do think, just to be clear, I mean, obviously, Marines being killed is terrible. School children being killed is terrible. But there's a big difference between Iran willfully bombing, U.S. military targets, and the United States bombing a school and then not acknowledging it, which is its own separate problem. But the school children are civilians. They're civilians point blank. They should.
Good point. Thank you. So, wow, I'm surprised, honestly. I was a little bit zoned out when she was saying that. But yeah, the roadside bombs or whatever, or not roadside, like they were the bases and the stuff that Iran has like funded other groups that may have targeted them, right? These are all against military assets. Like these are all military personnel. Like they are valid targets under under wartime conditions, if you want to say that they were in war or not during that time period. I don't know exactly which conflict they're talking about with this, but yeah, they weren't civilians. So this is completely different. The school, like targeting the school children versus that.
We are, according to some people, already at the 60-day mark of this war. And technically, they're supposed to come to Congress on it. Pete Hegseth was questioned about this today. Listen to this.
I'm going to skip past this. I want to get to Mogler. Give me the Mog. I want to see Mogler mog all over him. Frame mog him. babyface MAGA
administration interpreted the statute.
And Republicans disagreed with it at the time.
100%. I think it would be cleaner.
So just to be clear, yeah.
It'd be a good act of constitutional hygiene, and it's not you need to conclude within 60 days. You need to conclude or have authorization from Congress within 60 days.
Exactly. So
now,
they could come to Congress and get authorization. Why not?
Or they could challenge the statute, which, as somebody who has either sponsored legislation to repeal or reform every extant authorization for the use of military force and to reform war powers more broadly, I also have to confess the War Powers Act of 1974, the constitutional underpinnings of that are shaky. It may not hold up.
Maybe so, but it's the law of the land, and it hasn't been.
Dude, do we still have to pretend like laws mean anything? Like, we all know they don't care. Like, so why are we playing this song and dance? Okay, I mean, I guess it's useful for a from like a media cycle perspective and being able to have discussions around it, but in my mind, it is just like the executive branch can do whatever the fuck it wants, and Congress and the courts can't do anything about it. It's kind of how it feels like to me.
It has not been
Congress has the power of the purse. And this is the reality, is that if Congress continues to authorize the Department of War, if they continue to pass the National Defense Appropriations Act, they continue to do that. That will
They're not going to shoot down the Defense Act on the basis of a war that Donald Trump is starting. Why would he shoot down all of our
the National Defense Act?
Wait, what did he say? Because the correct answer is that Congress should shut down all of the funding to all of our defense until this war is halted. Like, that's what they should do, to rein in the these reckless decisions that our president is putting us into, and into these strategic quagmires that he is constantly risking every time he does these acts of military aggression without congressional approval.
Act. They continue to do that. That will
They're not going to shoot down the Defense Act on the basis of a war that Donald Trump is starting. Why would he shoot down all of our defense?
The National Defense Act. The National Defense Act comes up once a year. I think it's probably this year. It's usually toward the end of the year.
They also are requesting a supplemental before.
They're requesting a supplemental, but they haven't actually done that fully yet. And I do think it raises the question, do they just get to pause this thing whenever they feel like it, even though there is an active blockade? And a blockade involves the U.S. military threatening with force that if any
act of war.
Yeah, it is considered an act of war. So how does that not count?
I think that interpretation, however, is subject to reasonable acceptance and interpretation. If indeed there is a ceasefire, don't you want to encourage the ceasefire? Don't you want to encourage this peace?
Yeah, but there's also a naval blockade, which is by definition not a ceasefire. But
also, we're talking legality.
This is stupid, dude. I do not care about this. I'm sorry. Where does he mog him? Up here? I'm going to the next section. Sorry.
Wait. What do you mean by bird law?
When we try to apply like normal rhetoric, normal logic, normal dictionary definitions,
as we do in a democracy. Like, we're not Iran. We don't get to just ignore the law.
Yes, we do. We aren't. We are not, like, I mean, I'm not saying like we should be able to, but we do. Like, this has been a long running tradition, not even just in the Trump administration, like before that, of presidents violating the law constantly all the time and never having any consequences for it. We are just living in the natural conclusion of that.
Legal repercussions
sense, right?
here.
If we're talking about that, what international legal repercussions?
This is a war of aggression.
What is international law? Who's enforcing international law?
Who is the aggressor here?
Us.
Yeah, we are the aggressor. And who enforces international law? It's us, like, honestly. And so when we decide not to do it, then yeah, it doesn't matter. It's no longer a thing. International law is dead, man. It was dead in Gaza. Gaza killed it. We let the Gaza genocide destroy international law. We decided that it was not worth, at this point in time, keeping up the facade of international law as America descends further and further as the unable to maintain its overstretched global empire. Like, that's what we decided. So we got rid of it, and it is dead and gone. It is buried under the rubble with the thousands and thousands of children inside of Gaza.
This is a war of aggression.
What is international law? Who's enforcing international law?
Who is the aggressor here?
Us. We are the aggressor. We launched this war. Yes.
Okay.
Just because Iran exists.
Did all of U.S. history exist before the last 8 weeks to you, or just 8 weeks?
It started on February 28th.
Listen, we all know.
I mean, honestly, they have been at war.
I swear to God, dude. I swear to God. I'm telling you, every conflict that America has ever been in, go and look at the analysis of like how it all started, and you will find eventually that America like started the aggression. Like it happens it's how it has always been. Like I'm the only exception that I can think of, I guess, would be like actually like World War II and like Pearl Harbor. Like because most of the time, like honestly, the American home front is almost never actually attacked. There's never a real situation where America is actually in any meaningful danger from other countries. Like the most that other countries ever do is like an act of terror, like 9/11 or whatever. But in general, the America home front is almost never attacked, and so there's never really any, and no other country is able to destabilize America in the same way that America is able to destabilize other countries. So yeah, I don't know. This seems ridiculous.
For the last 8 weeks to you, or just 8
It started on February 28th.
Listen, we all know.
I mean, honestly, they have been at war with us for 47
We all
years.
know that Scott Jennings is more than happy to defend a war with a country that starts with the letters IRA that we are currently failing, that is going to put us trillions and trillions of dollars more in debt. I was only a few years.
True. I mean, I don't know much about Scott Jennings in particular, but he definitely seems like the type who is like full on board for the Iraq war back in the day. The Forever War that was only supposed to take a few weeks, by the way, is only supposed to take a few weeks.
Old while you were in the administration defending prior endless wars. Now this war is failing.
8 weeks is endless to you?
Okay, you said it was going to be 4 to 6 weeks.
You have the attention span of a gnat? Is that what you have?
Dude, he's so fucking smarmy, man. Jesus Christ. But yeah, well, because you said 4 to 6 weeks and now it's past that. And by the way, like I always said, like this is how Vietnam started as well. This is how Iraq started. They said it would be a very short thing. It's only going to take a few weeks and they will collapse and they will accede to all of our demands. We've heard this story time and time again. You don't have to tell us the same story again, Scott Jennings. Like I always say, we live in hell. We live in purgatory. It's like Groundhog Day, man. We live through the same shit over and over again.
I debated you on TV 4 to 6 weeks ago, and you said we were weeks away from it. Now you're making condescending remarks because you can't defend the fact that this war is not going your way. Wait, one more time.
Not going your way.
Name one political concession. Name one political concession.
Tough guys. Oh, get your fucking hand out of my face, dude. Scott Jennings is pretending to be a tough guy. Yeah, I don't know who would win in a fight between Scott Jennings and Adam Mogler. That's tough because Scott Jennings is old as shit. Like his bones would probably break if he tried to throw a punch. Also, he's kind of got tiny hands. So I don't know. I don't know how tall he is either. So I don't really know who would win in a fight here. Adam Mogler could use like charm or like cute face or something, like use some like Pokemon type attack and to make his eyes really big and like googly, and then put Scott Jennings into a state of like panic, like he doesn't want to hit this cute child. Like I don't know, I'm trying to think if they were Pokemon, like what that type of fight would be. Anyway, I got distracted. What were they talking about again?
Weeks away from it. Now you're making condescending remarks because you can't defend the fact that this war is not going your way. Wait, one more time.
Not going
Name one political concession. Name one political concession.
Honestly, I'm not going to have this guy's hand in my face.
Everybody.
I don't know, man. He's being a little bitch. He's being a little, like, his hand wasn't really in his face, but like he just seems like he's like butthurt. He is butthurt. He's butthurt because Adam Mogler in this particular circumstance is actually right. Adam Mogler annoys me sometimes because he's very lib coded. He sometimes has good takes. He sometimes is just annoying. But here on this one, he is like saying the right things. Now he's not as right as Kat is saying across the table. But he did get off some good debate pervertry like owns on this guy. So
name one political concession.
Whoa,
honestly, I'm not going to have this guy's hand in my face.
Everybody hang tight.
Honestly.
Okay. No, everybody calm down. Okay.
Calm down.
We're having a debate. you can respond to the points that he's making.
Can you name a political concession that we've got?
I just had a flashback to the war the skinheads had in my studio.
I would be mad if I had defended war too.
Okay, Grandpa. That's a classic grandpa interjection where they're like, "This reminds me of that time." Like, no, everybody's like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
I would be mad if I had to defend war.
Scott, you can respond.
We have a very simple goal: to keep terrorists and a terrorist regime from having a nuclear weapon that can threaten the United States, our interests in the region, our allies in Europe, anybody else in the world.
Well, then we failed. We failed entirely on all of those goals. None of those things have happened. And I don't think they're ever really going to happen. So anyway, yeah, okay. Well, that was that. That was Adam Mogler mogging everybody. I'm just going to play a quick video while I go use the bathroom, and then I'll be back to talk about some more stuff. So let's play this one.
This is fun.
This is about this is from Al Jazeera. This is going to talk about some of the energy implications with the Strait of Hormuz being closed, the transition to green energy, because my understanding is that China has been having a huge inflow of orders for solar panels. I think it's like doubled since the Strait of Hormuz has been blocked. So I don't even know if they're going to be able, and this is China, I don't even know if even China is going to be able to keep up with the production demand necessary here. So we're going to watch this quick video while I go use the bathroom about South Korean village profiting from solar power amid energy crisis. Let's go.
This is lunch every day in the village of Guyang in South Korea. Neighbors preparing and sharing a meal together in a newly renovated cafeteria, all paid for by a community venture. In 2022, Guyang was selected for a pilot program that was part of the government's push for renewable energy. People have formed a cooperative and invested in these solar panels using state financing. Now they're collectively making more than $6,000 per month in profit from solar power generation, all of which goes towards welfare programs.
If you distribute the cash, people will start having different opinions. Newcomers might also get treated differently, but because everything is done collectively, none of that happens.
They've used the money to build sports facilities as well, and to buy a van that takes people to the main town. But the village's chief says nothing is more important than contributing to the transition away from fossil fuels.
The ongoing conflict in the Middle East has had a serious economic impact on all of us. So this project and the potential to expand it further has made us realize its importance even more.
It's also prompted the government to accelerate its renewable energy goals. The government had initially planned to build small-scale solar farms like this in 170 villages, but seeing as how a geopolitical conflict thousands of kilometers away can affect energy supplies at home, it's now aiming for 500 installations by the end of the year and two.
Is this audio fucked for everybody else, or is that just me? One second, let me reconnect my headphones. I'm wondering if maybe they got a little messed up.
1,500. By 2030.
Okay.
But at the same time, South Korea is reverting to coal in response to the threat of an energy crisis. It's lifted limits on coal power generation and delayed the shutdown of plants. Activists say Seoul has been slow to phase out coal, even before the war in the Middle East, and that this coal plant, which went online just last year, is a testament.
The government's approach is more likely to make the situation worse and create a vicious cycle. I think our energy policy may be heading in the wrong direction.
The government says it may keep 21 coal plants running for emergency purposes, but has pledged to shut down 40 others by 2040 and insists it's committed to fully transitioning to renewables. Barnaby.
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be some transition back to coal, I think, as this conflict rages on. I don't know how long we're going to be blockading the Strait of Hormuz, but, we'll see. There's going to be some coal, but I think mostly people are transitioning to solar, because solar is probably cheaper, honestly, at this point, with, China able to pump out I don't know, huge solar panels for like, they cost like, I don't know, like $20 or something. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, there we go. That's a little interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to another short one.
Well, we've heard from.
This is about so apparently I'm gonna guess that this is related to Iran stuff. I think earlier maybe we saw something related like that. We're withdrawing 5,000 troops from Germany. I don't know exactly what the reasoning is for doing this, but I'm assuming it has to do with you know, our vassals not being sufficiently loyal to the king god that is Donald Trump. So or God King, I guess is how they usually say it. So if this is kind of maybe a part of like the whole fracturing of NATO situation, which I think at this point we can pretty safely say that NATO is essentially dead, right? Whether like America is just straight up incapable of defending all of these NATO countries. And all of these NATO countries, they're not capable of defending each other. So I think at this point, really, NATO is basically dead. But this is just like another example of it, is kind of my guess. But let's go ahead and see what's going on here.
Well, we've heard from the Defense Minister, Boris Pistorius, this morning, saying that Trump's announcement of the withdrawal of 5,000 troops from Germany, which currently has about 40,000 troops in the country, is not unexpected. What he's actually said was that Germany is prepared for this. He calls upon European allies to also be prepared to increase their defense commitment. Germany has already sent a questionnaire out to 18-year-olds across the country. It's obligatory for young men, where they have to say whether they're willing to serve or not. And they're building up a red or not. And they're building up whether they're willing to serve or not. And
I assume that he's saying whether they would be willing to serve or not. It was hard to hear there.
Building up a register of potential recruits for an expanded Bundeswehr, the German army. Young women can answer this questionnaire if they wish. And also, men of military age cannot now leave the country for more than 3 months at a time without gaining military permission. It was a small clause in a bill passed earlier this year that was only noticed about a month ago. It caused some kickback from the Germans.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. America is really very quickly accelerating us towards like World War III right now. Is what it feels like. All of our like adventurism, all of the stuff that Donald Trump has, like fracturing of previous alliances, like making it very obvious that America is a dying empire, like whereas America was, essentially fine like before Donald Trump. I mean, I'm not going to say like the cracks weren't there and ready to be exploited by anybody who came in, like, and it just happened to be Donald Trump. Like, that's what I believe. But like, so like America's trajectory as a dying empire was there regardless. But it is interesting to see it collapse this fast and move every country towards like war, right? Because all of these moves, like historically, every time Germany has rearmed, which it seems like they're starting to do right now, has preceded a world war, right? So and like America just like not being able to just like leave countries alone and like continuously getting into wars with everybody right now, along with allowing Israel to engage in like all of its atrocities, like committing genocide on every country that neighbors it, really just feels like we are accelerating our descent into World War III pretty quickly now. Yeah, I don't know, man. The people, they need to get off of the American teat if they want to have any sort of sovereignty. And I would be happy for them to do so. I'm not so happy about Germany rearming. I would rather them kind of jointly rearm and all of them be a little bit skeptical of Germany, just given their history when it comes to world wars. Like, I'm a little skeptical of Germany rearming, but yeah, I think the EU as a bloc does need to build up their independence, or at the very least counterbalance America with China.
But obviously the Germans need to be prepared because if American troop numbers are reduced, the Germans somehow have to find a way to fill that gap.
Nick, the U.S., as you mentioned, has a significant military presence in Germany. So 5,000 is a lot of people to withdraw. Any idea what the impact would have on German society or the German economy?
Well, absolutely. Let's take, for example, Ramstein, which is a major US hub in southern Germany near Stuttgart. And there are 8,000 troops based there. It's a critical hub for the American forces in Europe. It's part of America's defense network. That base alone is worth 2 billion euros a year to the local economy, according to the mayor of Ramstein, and 5,000 jobs are dependent upon that base. So if you took 5,000 troops out of Ramstein, that's unlikely. It's likely to be across the board of Germany. But if you took 5,000 troops out of Ramstein, that would take about, 70% of your 2 billion a year economic benefit away. It would slash the number of jobs to, 1,000 or so. So it would have a major economic impact, and Germany is bracing for that.
Call it a pie in the sky idea.
Okay, well, that was interesting. NATO's in disarray right now. All of these countries, they didn't really get into exactly why. I was hoping they would talk about why Germany was like why America decided to do this. I heard in a previous video that it was like somewhat related to just Donald Trump's general distaste for NATO, and like Donald Trump like assuming that all of the NATO allies would come to his aid as he like engaged in his unilateral war of aggression against Iran after, months, like years, I guess at this point, of antagonizing and like telling them to all fuck off. Like, I guess he just thought that was going to end up with like he was just confused why they wouldn't come and help him after that, which was very silly of him. So, and I think that all of this, like to be honest, if I were Germany, I would take the removal of 5,000 troops. Sorry, I would take the removal of 5,000 troops from the region as like a good thing. Like, this is great. Like, yeah, get these American troops out of here. We don't need them. We don't want them. We'll spend on our own defense or whatever. We're tired of being America's vassal. Like that's kind of the mentality that I would have if I was a German citizen right now. Maybe I would be a little bit disappointed if I lived in one of these military towns, which are essentially just occupied territory by American military bases. But like, because there would be less money to go around. But I think that could pretty easily be solved by economic policy as well. So yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and move on to this one is all about, I hate the spinny thing when it happens. 1 second. Okay. We're going to move on to this video. So this is Spirit Airlines, everybody's favorite airline. Everybody loves Spirit. It's historically been the airline with the most fights on it, from what I remember. All of the videos of like people getting in fights on airplanes, I feel like were always from Spirit Airlines. So they had to deal with that for so long, but apparently now, guys, Spirit Airlines might be donezo. We might not get as many videos of people getting in fights on airlines anymore. This is all flights canceled. Spirit Airlines halt operations. We already knew that they were kind of in trouble because the federal government was like planning on buying some percentage stake in it. So let's see if we can analyze what's going on with that in this video.
Another big story in the skies this morning. Spirit Airlines ceasing operations overnight after bailout talks with the White House broke down. The low-cost carrier leaving thousands of workers and travelers in a major bind. Chanley Painter. Trump
decided he didn't want to buy Spirit Airlines. I wonder why. It's his favorite color. It's gold. Well, I guess it's more yellow. But yeah, I wonder why the talks broke down. maybe they'll get into that.
The low-cost carrier leaving thousands of workers and travelers in a major bind. Chanley Painter has the details. Good morning, Chanley.
Hey, good morning, guys. So earlier today, the company announced it was going out of business and ending its operations immediately, telling passengers to not even go to the airport, saying, quote, "To our guests, all flights have been canceled and customer service is no longer available." Despite the company's efforts, the recent material increase in oil prices and other pressures on the business have significantly impacted Spirit's financial outlook. With no additional funding available to the company, Spirit has had no choice but to begin this wind down. Well, this morning's announcement could impact hundreds of thousands of travelers and reportedly some 17,000 employees. Through the month of May, some 9,000 flights and 60,000 potential passengers are now impacted. Plus, the airline would have had 1.8 million seats to sell and would have had some.
I'm assuming they get refunds, right? They better get refunds. I mean, I know that like Spirit is out of money, but I'm pretty sure even if you're out of money, like I would assume that's what bankruptcy would do, is you would declare bankruptcy and then your people, like you would pay out your obligations to the people who have purchased things from you, is my understanding of how bankruptcy works.
300 flights per day. Spirit's shutdown comes after a deal with the federal government could not be finalized and as the budget carrier struggled to get back on its feet after a second bankruptcy in less than a year. According to the Wall Street Journal, the airline had been seeking a $500 million lifeline from the Trump administration. The president said this yesterday.
Well, I guess we're looking at it. If we could do it, we'd do it, but only if it's a good deal. But if we can't make a good deal, no institution's been able to do it. I said, I'd like to save the jobs. We gave them a final proposal.
Well, now other major carriers are stepping up to assist stranded Spirit workers and passengers, including.
I wonder what the deal was, why he didn't think it was good. I feel like more it's behind the scenes drama with because like I've said, like this is essentially a form of like socialism, right? If you have the government seize the seize the carrier by buying it out if it's failing or whatever, in some semblance you are engaging of seizing the means of production. Like you're engaging in the government owning and operating to some extent this airline, which is not seen as a good thing from the vast majority of people in Congress and stuff. So I'm wondering if like there's just too much drama behind the scenes of like the billionaire, our pedo billionaires giving Trump the boss call of like, hey, you gotta, like, you're not allowed to do this. Like, you're not allowed to take a stake in Spirit or something. And maybe that torpedoed talks, or maybe Spirit Airlines just didn't want to engage in that. I really have no idea, to be honest.
Frontier Airlines, who tweeted, quote, "We are ready to support customers who may be impacted if Spirit Airlines ceases operations, with a focus on helping people continue their travel plans with low fare options." United and American Airlines say they are also ready to help. American says it has capped ticket prices on routes where it directly competes with Spirit to help limit disruptions. Guys, back to you.
All right, Chanley. Thank you, Chanley.
Thank you, Chanley.
Okay. I'm gonna call that video on that one. I wanted a little bit more information. I guess maybe someday we'll get some details about what that deal was or whatever. No idea. They didn't give me a whole lot on that one. I think I'm just gonna move on to X.com, people. We're at the 2-hour mark. I don't really want to stay on here too long today because I'm gonna go canvass for Cori Bush yet again. That's at 11, so I'll probably leave around like 10:30 or maybe 10:45. It's pretty close. So yeah. So let's just head over to X.com, the everything app, and let's have a little bit of fun, hopefully. That's a lot of flags. That's a lot of Palestinian flags. I did see a lot of Palestinian flags at the Mayday events yesterday, which was cool. Palestinian solidarity, it goes hand in hand with the imperial, death machine that we use on brown people abroad is always the same imperial death machine that comes back home and starts brutalizing protesters and brutalizing people who are just asking for basic necessities under our American, the American hell that we live in. So yeah, cool. That feeling when there's no tax on Social Security. Yeah, it feels just like sucking off two dudes. He's doing the classic double dick motion that he loves to do. What a great feeling, people. That's our president. Our I don't know. Is he maybe I feel like he's I don't think he's homosexual. I think that he is asexual. I don't think that he has any sexual thoughts whatsoever. I think the only thing he cares about sex is what he can get from it. So like I think that in general he's probably asexual, if I had to guess. But he is kind of a diva and kind of a queen. So like the way he acts is very like, you know, very diva like. Inhumans of capitalism. The ultras are out for Hasan. I was at this rally, by the way. I already watched a video of his entire speech, but this guy is saying Hasan's message is vote for the party that did a genocide in Gaza. Hasan replied, AIPAC spent $9 million against Corey for calling out Israel's genocide, you fucking moron. I guess you're happy with a servant of Israel occupying that seat, but I am not. Perhaps I should just keep posting about how bourgeois democracy is dead. Is a dead end for the working class, and then wait for a spontaneous revolution to take shape like you are. Yeah, I mean, the ultras are really annoying. Like when it comes to this type of stuff, because Cori Bush is obviously different than Wesley Bell. There will be a difference in policy and a difference in outcomes if she is in that seat as opposed to Wesley Bell. In general, I don't really care that much when ultras, you know, do ultra stuff, but like when the hardcore like left or whatever does stuff like that, but they really shouldn't be like, I don't like when they act as like agents of Israel, you know, like I don't like when they do stuff like this where they are essentially telling people not to vote for someone who is against Israel, and they tell people to go instead vote for, or I mean, I guess they don't say too explicitly vote for the AIPAC candidate Wesley Bell, but doing like equivocating between those two. So yeah. Let's see what else we got. There's Mogler again. FCC rules don't prohibit profanity on cable. Can you show a pussy on air? BC because CNN did. I don't know what that's referring to. Here he is responding to his mogging that he did, the moggening that Scott Jennings got. I know Scott Jennings' tantrum got all the attention yesterday, but I want to talk a little bit about what I said that got him so mad. The bottom line is Trump's war with Iran has failed. This has made it mentally strenuous for MAGA operators to defend it on TV. For 8 weeks now, oh my gosh, Mogler, please. So much text. For 8 weeks now, Scott has pointed to the U.S. destroying the 50-year-old Navy and Air Force of Iran to try and prove that we have won. This is dishonest for many reasons. The point of war is not to kill your enemies and blow up their Navy. That's an infantile view of war that MAGA... Yeah, okay, I kind of already talked about all this. The point of war is to use force to extract political concessions from your enemy that benefit you on the world stage. Trump has been unable to translate his military success into a single political concession from Iran. Not one. This is a failed war. He's coming at it from a like pro-American empire perspective, I would say, saying that this is like Trump is bungling this, and you know, like that we're not going to get all of the concessions that you know, liberals and conservatives alike think that America deserves from this. So like I would come at it more from a moral perspective, which is how Kat Abu Ghazala came at it from while she was on that so anyway, so I'm just going to skip to the bottom. So I asked the simple question, can you name a single political concession we have gotten from Iran? He couldn't answer. Never forget the weakness he showed when he had no answer for Trump's mistakes. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good post. I didn't read all of it, but because it was too much text, but yeah. What? Oh, this is the White House. Yeah, one of our I don't really know what that's all about. Corey Bush says, thanks so much to Hasan the Hun for joining us in St. Louis for International Workers' Day. I had such a great time rallying with our allies in this movement to call for workers' rights, abolishing ICE, and making sure the people of St. Louis get everything they deserve. I like it. This must have been, okay. This part must have been while we were marching. They must have done like an interview while we were marching, because I didn't remember this one. I hope that maybe they aired it somewhere I can watch it. This is crazy. This is crazy.
I think we should be sanctioning. I think they should be sanctioned. Yes.
Yeah, so this is Ryan Grimm finally has made it. This is how you know you've made it. This is how you know you've made it as a true journalist, is if you get a positive shout out in a Lego AI Iran propaganda video. If I am ever like in a Lego AI Iran propaganda video, that's how I will know that I have made it as well. So let's make it happen, people. One day. Let's see. What else do we got? Those are some sick effigies that they're burning. The Trump, I assume Netanyahu in there too. This is in the Philippines. Or wait, no. Manila, sorry. I don't know. Where is Manila? Oh, it is the Philippines. Okay. There you go. Oh, this is the new InfoWars. Wait, who is this? I feel like I recognize this person. Okay, let's watch this. If this is funny enough, people, I might just call it. This might be the last one. Let's see here.
But I'm going to sip from the blood of the Forsaken. This is real human blood. You can find this at the InfoWars.
Wait a second. Is that? That's not. That's not. Okay, no. No. That's not Tim Heidecker, right? It can't be. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know for sure.
Store. This is a human blood curated from the Forsaken and the sinners. All right, this is pure premium blood, tested, FDA unapproved. And this is just human blood. As part of my satanic ritual, I am a servant to Satan, and thank God I was able to get him and the Lord to sit down and come to their senses and get things back to before Satan was cast into hell.
Now, I'm curious, how many people do you think this is going to actually legitimately trick? Like people who actually watch InfoWars. I have to assume that there is at least 10 people out there who are going to watch this video from the new InfoWars and not understand that it is a different person. Because the level of detached from reality you have to be an InfoWars viewer. I think your basic just object permanence or facial recognition skills have to be pretty low. So there might be people who actually are like, wait, why is Alex Jones saying that?
So I'm part of that. I'm part of the peace movement. It's thick. It tastes like blood. And this is Satan giving me the powers to continue to fight. And we will continue to fight. And I cheers to you. If you have access to the blood of the Forsaken and of all the children, this is not blood. These are adult. This is adult blood, by the way. Ain't no question. I made sure of that because I don't want to get in trouble. But this is the blood of the Forsaken.
Okay, that was okay, but it wasn't good enough. I'm gonna keep on going. I don't know if I'm allowed to listen to that. It might get copyright struck. What's this? Low IQ Democrat Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is nothing but a thug, and he is a danger to our country. President Donald J. Trump. Look at this video, or look at this thing that they posted. This was a picture of Hakeem Jeffries trying to look tough, but he comes off looking as a little league player who doesn't want to be there. Right? Like I played little league when I was a kid, and I sometimes had to get my picture taken, like for for the team or whatever. And this was the exact same like face and body posture that I made because I was like, I don't want to be here. Like that's what he looks like. And Hakeem Jeffries is a danger to our country, but not in the way that Donald Trump thinks. He's a danger to our country in that he capitulates to fascists all the time, and he caves to billionaire interest all the time. And he is fundamentally aligned with the current sources of power, the same pedo billionaires that fund like Donald Trump's agenda. That's why he is not that is why he is a danger to our country. What's this? Yeah. Turning Point USA. Okay. True Anon posted this. What is this? Women post video using Charlie Kirk assassination sounds for outfit transition. This is gross. The empathy side, by the way.
Counting or not counting gang violence? Great. Counting or not.
Sorry. That's a little bit brutal. I won't lie. If they're using the actual the gunshots and screams or whatever, I don't know. That's a little bit brutal. Turning Point USA condemns in the strongest terms the TikTok audio trend that uses or references the assassination of our founder Charlie Kirk for entertainment. Again, I can't like. Turning Point USA isn't allowed to say this because they have trafficked in hatred and violent rhetoric throughout their entire existence as a media organization. So I don't really care if they get butthurt about this. I probably wouldn't personally do this. Just I would have left. I don't mind memeing on Charlie Kirk. Like I like all of the memes are hilarious to me. I wouldn't use that particular audio though. That one was that's a little bit rough. But who am I? Who am I to rag on these girls just having fun? I'm not the arbiter of morality. What's this? I don't know what that is. Okay, let's see if we can find a funny one. This was a funny one, but I already watched it yesterday, but we'll watch it again, but I'm not going to end it on one that I watched yesterday.
Why can't we at iHit News have crazy camera angles? Why can't we?
I'm not going to lie. Jennifer Welch does pull off this hat, this outfit combo, the like black on black, like, I don't know. It's kind of like rad. I won't lie.
Why can't we act fucking unhinged? I want to be unhinged for America. I want to be crazy for America. I want to wake up this morning for her. America's pronouns. She, her. All right. That's all we have. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you pre-order my book, which I would like to dedicate to one Erica Kirk, not today fascist. And Erica, the person that I'm talking about today, fascist, is you.
Boy.
You are the racist fascist about whom I am talking to. The work that.
Yeah, good for Jennifer Welch. That was a funny clip. Okay, let's find something funny here so I can get out of here. What's this? Yeah, I don't know if I trust these ones. I'm gonna have to. I'll watch one if I know it's from Explosive Media, the actual original people who are posting them. some protest direct action at the stock exchange.
You see police blocking, trying to stop the protesters from getting over the fence.
That was probably from Mayday, if I had to guess.
Entrances being blocked by protesters. Right here, cleaning themselves. Wall Street traders work.
Wow.
And
okay. Okay, let's watch this one. Maybe this one will be funny. We got a bunch of MAGA moms lined up in a row. I'm sure that they are going to say something unhinged, every single one of them. So maybe this will be it, people. Let's see what they got to say.
All right, what's your name and what number are you in line?
Kim, number 1.
All right, hey guys, you ready for President Trump?
Yes.
All right, let's go. All right.
Okay, so maybe this is just gonna go it says look at all their dumb faces. It's just going over all the man, it is crazy. They are all just like boat dads, man. They all got that small business tyrant vibe. And they're always playing the gay anthem of YMCA. I never understand that.
Are we fired up today?
Oh, hey, look, we got some young kids, all the young Republicans who deserve a few swirlies. The dorkiest dorks that have ever fucking existed.
That's it. Hey, Donald Trump. There we go. What's your message for President Trump? We love you, Donald Trump. There you go.
Dude, they're all dweebs.
Yeah, we're in Middleton. Let's go. All right. The line just keeps going and going, doesn't it? Good morning. How are you?
Well, how are you?
Good.
This is just like we're just getting we're taking it all in, all the different types of MAGAs there are.
Oh my goodness. All right, I'm assuming you spent the night here.
Yes.
That's awesome. Thanks for coming. That's great. Look at this.
Where is this? Like, what are they lined up for? Is it, I guess, an actual like Trump rally or something?
Fired up for President Trump. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to do my classic. I forgot to keep a counter of how many black people we saw. Maybe one. I think there might be one right back there. So yeah, I don't know. This is just like all of these people look like, or most of these people just look like classic MAGA people. Nothing too surprising. Okay, let's move on. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of watermelon, man. God, can you imagine cleaning all that stuff afterwards? Ugh, like those things would be so sticky. Oh, I guess they're in containers. Okay, that's better. Never mind. Fit check. Oh, it says fuck guys. That's sick. No borders. Cool. Yeah, rad fit. I give that fit 8 out of 10. I like it. Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Hasan Piker publicly condemns Hasan Piker. I want to let it be known on the record that I denounced Hasan Piker. Good for him. Good for him. We should all denounce Hasan Piker. I do 5 Hasan Piker condemnations every day. And, you know, you should too. We all must do our duty of condemning Hasan Piker. Okay, let's watch a little bit of this clip because I missed it earlier of, I guess, this interview maybe with Cori Bush. If we can get the audio to a good point.
Like, be as tough and as honest as possible.
Yeah. So one of the biggest hurdles that I have to climb in this election cycle is people feeling like it costs so much against you, like that $15 million that was spent against me last time, what if they spend that against you this time? If we fundraise, if we give, will you still lose because it wasn't enough? So should I donate because it won't touch the.
I think it's different this time. The media environment is completely different than what it was when she ran the first time, or when she ran last time, when Wesley Bell won. AIPAC donations don't go as far as they used to, and they had to spend $9 million on her last time to even get Wesley Bell elected. That means that if they wanted to win this one, I think they would have to spend $20-30 million. I mean, that's just like an assessment. I guess he does have an incumbent advantage now, so maybe there's that. But yeah, I think that it's a fundamentally different race. So I wouldn't worry that much about your donations, like thinking that they're not going to do anything. They will. They'll do more, I think, than they did last time.
$15 million. We don't need to raise $15 million. Organized people will beat the organized money. We just have to have enough to be on the map. We have to have enough to be able to get on the doors, and we pay people to go on the doors. We have to have enough to show up at every single meeting we can show up at. We need to be on television, internet. We need to be on the radio. We need to do that. So that's the biggest hurdle, alongside the fact that Black women receive the least amount of contributions. Research shows that we do. And so people will say, "Oh, I love you, Corey." They'll get up and they will ask me for a photo. They will have me sign a piece of paper. And then they will give the person that they didn't say they love, the person that didn't excite them with a speech, somebody they didn't care to take a picture with, they'll give that person $500 and they'll give me $3. They'll give me $11. That's another issue. It's like that implicit bias. Like, it's good enough for us to mother. It's good enough for us it's good enough for us to be, the strong electorate within the party, but it's not good enough for us to lead in the way to where you show it with your money so we can get in the seat. Let me say, I need the big money out of politics. I don't want you to have to spend money to get us in these seats. I don't. You need that money in your pocket. But we're not there right now, so I need help to be able to get there. So you say be as honest as I can. That is the thing that is the biggest barrier, is people feeling like people extract, but then they're like, you know what it feels like sometimes? I'm going to be real. It feels like tap dancing. Like, come tap dance for me. And then I'll see if I want to talk something out to you. And it's sad because I do this work because I love you. I do this work because you mean enough to me.
Here, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think that, I get where she's coming from. I'm sure that that's rough. If you have the opportunity, definitely give her a donation or come out and canvas for her. Definitely goes a long ways. Okay, what else we got? Let's see. It was Tim Heidecker, right? Okay, I'm not crazy. I thought it was Tim Heidecker, but he looked different in his photos on the internet. Okay, that doesn't seem very funny. Look at this. Like this tweet if you hate Israel. It's got 330,000 likes. That's crazy. Wow, that's pretty close. That's a pretty close face. MAGA is confused about Animal Farm. And MAGA has always been confused about Animal Farm. Animal Farm is especially like the movie and stuff. They really go hard in the like pro-capitalism direction or like anti-communism direction. Like this post is saying, it is more of a critique on like blind adherence to ideology. I think that when George Orwell was writing it, he was, in the midst of like the Soviet Revolution and like the aftermath of World War II and all that sort of stuff, like the rise of fascism, like all that. Like he was trying to, like, I think, show how ideology, no matter what framework it has, can turn into a oppressive power structure. That's like my interpretation. Although I haven't honestly read it since I was in like maybe middle school or something, so I'd have to reread it probably to give a full assessment. Come on. Let's see what we got here. I mean, Scott Jennings sucks, but he has good content, so I'd say no. Let him stay. He needs a job. Okay. Wow, those faces. Oh, okay. This is like Fear and merch. Okay. Okay, let's see this one.
But I'm going to sip from.
Oh, this is the same one. Same one we already watched. Billie Eilish says eating meat is wrong and people can't claim to love animals if they eat meat. I don't disagree, or I kind of disagree with that last portion. I love animals and I eat meat, so I try to limit my meat consumption, but what is this? I don't think I can listen to that. I'm going to church. Catholics. Mega church evangelicals. Look at this. This is insane. Pastor Bob needs a new private plane. Donate or no salvation. It's insane, dude. Is that one? Okay, I might have to just call it, people. I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time finding something funny. Here. Satire. This is satire. This is going to be it. Whether this is funny or not, I don't know. You tell me. You be the judge. This is apartheid without borders. I see what looks like an Israeli flag on here, so.
Freeze! Hands where I can see. Drop the sardine. Who? I'm Stravos, Greek citizen. Why are you wearing military uniform?
Oh, are they on the flotilla? Is that what they're saying? I think that's what they're saying. Whoops. Okay.
Sardine. Who? I'm Stravos, Greek citizen. Why are you wearing military uniform with a diaper? We are IDF Navy. You're far away from your stolen home.
For those unaware, the IOF does wear diapers. They are required to. I don't know why. I know that but they do have to wear diapers. I assume because they poop their pants a lot.
Target neutralized. We intercepted another flagship from the terror fleet. Flagship? This motorboat is older than your wannabe country, Malacca. And why are you pointing your rifle at my sardines? According to our universal jurisdiction, this boat right now is a neighborhood in Tel Aviv. You can't just annex a boat in Europe. We just did.
That is Israel logic. You know how there's like girl math before? This is like Israel math.
Soldier, put a for sale sign on this boat and find a settler from Brooklyn to move into the cabin of the boat. Look for contraband. You will find contraband. Commander, look. I found biscuits. Chocolate-coated biscuits. Food is energy, and energy becomes hope, and hope becomes resistance.
Yeah, those biscuits were those chocolate covered biscuits. Those were dual use biscuits. They can be used both for eating and sustaining and preventing like children from dying, but they could also be like if you let them dry out for a really long time, you could throw them at somebody. They're dual use, okay, people. We can't let those into Gaza. I'm sorry.
This is biscuit intifada. Biscuit intifada. I'm fishing, Malaka. Exactly. Fishing leads to feeding, and feeding leads to thinking. Why are you attacking those ships in international waters? Huh? Apartheid without borders. We've gone global, Stavros. Eh? What would we need a map when we have impunity? But this is European Union. Give us few years in Cyprus and Greece. Are those European Union border control ships standing and looking? Borders. What borders means? Borders. Oh.
Maybe Israel is trying to enact true international communism where there are no borders because they don't see borders. I don't think so. I if I had to guess, I don't think that they would be ideologically aligned with that. I think they don't like borders because they just like to take everything. I suppose they're more of the imperial side of the no borders equation.
We intercepted the flotillas and neutralized the sardines. Thank you for your complicity and consent, Europe. So the fire never stops at the neighbor's house, huh?
Well,
Soldier, our next target is that little sailboat. They are carrying diapers, and we need diapers for the brave people of the IDF to snipe kids in Gaza.
well.
Nobody's safe.
That's true. Nobody is safe. Nobody's safe unless we're all safe. They're not going to stop, man. Israel's not going to stop. Just with all of the, they're not going to not go after like Turkey and stuff eventually. Like until they are forced to stop, they're not going to stop. So there you go. That is the last one. That was a pretty good skit. I'll hit it with a like. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I got to start getting ready to go canvas for Corey Bush and then pick up my kitty. So, yeah, thank you again. And thank you for watching. If you're watching the VOD, love you too. And that is all. This has been Technically Clay, and the stream is technically over. Bye-bye.